Hey everybody, it's Norm from Tested. I'm here outside the studio of Garner Holt Productions. Now, it may not be a name familiar to you, but you may have recognized their work, specifically their animatronics work, which appears in theme parks all over the world, including some Disney parks. Now, a couple months ago, they released a video of some of their latest animatronics, including an incredibly realistic Abraham Lincoln animatronic. So I'm here today to meet with Mr. Garner Holt himself and look at that Abraham Lincoln animatronic to see how it works. Can't wait.
Witchcraft is something bad we can't explain. Magic is something good that we can't figure out how it works. Garner Holt Productions is in the business of making good magic.
Garner, thank you so much for having me here. This is incredible. This is Abraham Lincoln.
It is, the one and only.
So this is it sounds like one of your latest animatronics. And how long have you guys been making animatronics?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Well, thank you, Abe. We're glad to be here. We have been building animatronics now for 40 years. We actually celebrated our 40th anniversary July 25th of this year. And we're the largest company in the world that provides animatronics to theme parks and museums and stores and things of that nature worldwide.
Yeah, audio animatronics, kind of the history of it starts, I believe, with early Disney theme parks and those rides. People are very familiar with that.
Yeah.
And you guys were following along, working alongside that progression?
Yeah, Disney kind of wrote the book on modern day animatronics back in the 60s with Lincoln and the World's Fair. And that's kind of why we did Lincoln, as he's been kind of an important figure as far as, it's inspirational to me as a child seeing Lincoln at Disneyland. So, we've kind of followed along in the development of animatronics, and we kind of gone out on our own and to really make something special that's never been done before. This is the most complex human head that's ever been built in history. We try to blur the line between real and mechanical. It's what we call the illusion of life. That's what we work to create here. And I think he's a good example of our latest attempts at a simulated human expressive face.
I'd say Garner Holt Productions is on to something here. The people they make only say what you want them to.
To blur that line, to create that illusion, it seems to me there are two things going on. One is the make of the design and fabrication of just the skin and the face, and then second is the mechanics inside. I imagine both of those have changed drastically over your 40 years working. Can you walk me through some of the improvements? What did Abe look like when Walt Disney made an Abraham Lincoln 40 years ago versus what you guys can make now?
Well, the sculpture that they had wasn't bad. Mechanically, it wasn't anywhere as close to this. This is really difficult to do. That's why you don't see them out there in the world. Mechanically, it's difficult. Combining it with the face, making the skin move like a real human face, it's really hard. And trying to make it look just like a real person. All the colors, the skins, the way the skin is formulated. We have special proprietary skins. He's got over 40 different actuators, close to 45 actuators in his head and his face alone. He's got 7 neck vertebrae that move. So he's as close to a real human mechanical person as you've ever seen in the world. Nobody's ever been taken it really this far.
And as you and your team are looking at technologies that are available now, new actuators, new types of mechanical movements are being designed all the time. Are you looking at how much can you fit? Your constraints are the size of a human head.
Yeah.
Right? And then you want to pack more in there, or you're devising new ways that they actually interlock and interface with the skin?
Yeah, well, it's difficult because in animatronics we have what we call the envelope. If you're doing an animated sparrow or something, you can only put what fits inside the sparrow. So here you have a human head and the size of a small watermelon or a cantaloupe. You have to put 40 actuators in there, and they all have to do things that make it look real and respond realistically. He can look happy or sad or frustrated or angry. He can talk and enunciate syllables. He can move his lips to actually form words. And to make all that work mechanically is really tough. And I have a lot of wonderful people here that are very talented in making this stuff work.
And when you talk about something like a sparrow, yes, the size or something that's not human is going to be a different shape, but also the requirements what the viewer expects of the performance is going to be different in terms of the performance of a human, someone that's recognizable in history.
Exactly.
Do you have like a list of all the facial expressions that you want, like a dream list of?
We do. We create lists of expressions we're looking for, and then we have, with the 42 different movements that we have, and like you say in that range because it does vary, but we have the ability to create, literally millions of different expressions because, 42 can infinitely create, any number of expressions. Everybody knows what a face looks like. You see that every day, and, we have to follow a lot of the same rules. We had to make the eyes as realistic as possible because when you walk up to an animated figure, just like a human, you instinctively go right for the eyes. And so it was very important for us to make highly realistic eyes and, getting into the mouth, enunciating the words and, all of the different colors and the punched hair. This is all real human hair on him, actually. And it's a whole lot of people involved, everywhere from sculpting all the way on through to, the eye making and mechanics and the computers and the electronics to run it. It just is crazy complex.
And also as an attraction piece with so many movements, you're also allowing the viewer to be closer. You don't have to keep the distance. And
sure.
And I mean, we're right up to its face, and I'm looking at its eyes. And yes, I know it's a mech, but some of these movements are incredibly realistic.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that. He can do so many things, and we have each function has its own computer. So there are close to, along with the program computers, there are close to 50 computers running all at the same time to make this happen. And they all fit inside of his podium, So the miniaturization of electronics and the advances in plastics and the advances in servo motors that, aircraft quality servo motors, because, we have to make this stuff last for years and years in a theme park application, But if you get him in the right speech and right environment and he gets teary-eyed, and we hope to evoke those same emotions from the audience. We like to, if he laughs, we want people to laugh. If he cries, we want people to cry. So that's what we're trying to do, kind of by creating the illusion of life with our animatronics.
Do you also work the other way around, feedback from the audience? I know you have an operator right now running it, but do you imagine in the future animatronics respond to how the audience, their expressions, their voice?
Sure. Well, the person that's running it now is just telling it like to be happy or sad or whatever. He's not. This is all a program that's running that the figure's creating. But we have what we're developing is an AI type situation. You can get like a Siri type thing attached to it. We do have characters that have, and we have developed where they can lock onto you eye to eye, and they have the ability to. So they'll track you. They have the ability to identify you through facial recognition. So we're working on things where they'll actually be able to be interactive with you. But so we're controlling it by saying, run a particular program, but he's not a puppet. He's an actual figure that's functioning under, controls that are basically embedded in him. And
because this is a bus, you're focusing on the head, but I mean, you do animatronics of all different shapes and sizes. Is your dream one day to have a full body animatronic as lifelike?
We're doing that now. Yeah, we're doing that now. We have done countless full bodies. I mean, we've done human characters all over the world, hundreds of them. In fact, we've built over 5,000 animatronics here, nearly 500 for the Disney theme parks worldwide. Worked in 34 different countries. So we have figures all over the world. A lot of them are human and that. But this one's special in that it is so expressive. And we're in the midst of creating a new body for him that is fully electric, that has capabilities that have never been seen before either. So when we combine the two, it's going to be quite an amazing figure, and that'll be happening real soon. We've also gone on to develop the next generation of human expressive head too, so we've been working on that for some time now, and we're going to make this even better. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. What's on your bucket list?
Well, every time we design something like this or build something like this, just like any project, you spend a year building something, you get to the end and you've got a 5-page list of everything that you'd have done differently and how you'd have made it better. So we have to keep going here. We have to keep doing R&D. But, hopefully someday you'll walk into our lobby and you'll sign in and say hello to the receptionist, and then later on we'll tell you that wasn't even a real person that you were talking to. And we want to really fool people.
And for most people who go to attractions, go to theme parks, they may not know that this is work that you and your company have done, but they definitely see it improving over time.
Sure.
So things like this may make it into like a Disney park or your local attraction.
It could very well, and people, a lot of our clients, and that's fine. They don't like to let others know that we do a lot of what they do because that's their names on it, But we're happy to be behind the scenes. We're happy to be developing new and unique things like this that really take theme parks ahead into the future, that in places they've never gone.
Thank you so much, Garner, for sharing with me a little backstory on what you do here.
Yeah.
And thank you for introducing me to Lincoln.
Yeah, well, he's glad to meet you too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone.